morning, peeps. It's a glorious Thursday here on the Causeway Bridge. Nice, cool, chilly morning. And one of those cold chills that as soon as you step outside, you think, yeah, I should have stayed in bed. And it's like a cold blanket of, I don't know, soggy, icy air just goes right through you. It's like, painful. I really need to be under 3 blankets right now. Sleeping till about noon. But that's coming. This weekend, well, I'm catching up on my sleep. 4 hours last night. That's why the big cup of coffee. So the less sleep I get, the bigger this cup gets. That's how it happens. So most days, I got my little 75-cent cup of coffee. Today, $1.75. So, yeah, had to call in the heavy artillery. Yeah, show's going well, keeping us busy. But yeah, so thinking about if I don't end up staying, which I don't know, who knows what the future holds, you know, it's exciting, you never know. But if I do start my own production company, it will be interesting. I mean, all legit LLC and tax and all that business, everything, the whole thing that goes with it. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, so I've got a lot of friends that have their own production business, and they do well. It's a lot of hustle. You're scrambling, hustling, trying to get pieces, parts together, and people together when they don't want to come together. I mean, it's a weird thing, and it seems like you inconvenience people wherever you go, but that's the nature of the beast. You know, people are like, oh, you got to come shoot a commercial? Are you going to be like 5 minutes? Because I have 25 minutes for lunch, and I can give you 5 minutes of that. No, 5 minutes is what it takes to decide which room to shoot in. Then we set up for 25. Then we shoot for an hour. Then we strike for 15. Then we think of the other location for 5 minutes. Welcome to TV. So, yeah, but I don't know. In the days of everything being run and gun, everyone's like, how can it possibly take 2 whole hours to make 30 seconds, which is hilarious. It's like, in the world of production, 2 hours is like a blink. Yeah. Well, these days, unless you're a movie or $1 million TV commercial, you're running and gunning. You're basically spraying the world with a little iPhone these days. But, man, don't poop on iPhones or smartphones with nice cameras. It's amazing what can be done with them. You know, they're becoming the new GoPro cutaway shot, and all the stabilization and stuff. It's really cool. It's a fun, developing world. All the stabilization going on right now. You know, and just it's amazing. You know, I don't really know how many people sit and watch TV. I mean, it's bizarre. I don't know if I know many people at all that just watch TV and no television shows. You know, they all watch everything on their phone or their iPad or something. You know, it's like in bed. So people get these 90-inch screens and then they watch a little 2-inch screen on their phone. Welcome to 2019. It's wacky. It's a wacky place. So, yeah. Long story short, you can shoot everything with your phone. It looks great on a screen this big. Of course, when you put it on the 90-inch, the proof is in the pudding. Suddenly, it don't look so good when you stretch 2 inches to 90 inches. Like, maybe that other camera does look better. So anyway, yeah, I just plan on using my DSLR for most shots. Maybe an exterior follow or something. My little cutaway shot or something. Somebody getting out of a car, in a car. Tights on hands, putting keys in ignitions, just little novelty cutaway shots, I like to call them, or aka GoPro shots, which I have a GoPro. I might just use that. I'll see. One thing with a GoPro is like, it just screams GoPro. You know, I've got an older one, a Hero 3, so my brother gave me, and it's nice, but there's no, I didn't see any settings for cropping. I gotta see. I gotta find out all the settings you can do on a GoPro 3. But who knows? When I start making millions, I'll buy the fancy new stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I guess do what you can with what you got. You know, it's like, I mean, do you want to start with a $50,000, $100,000 loan over your head? I mean, I want to use the stuff I have to do what I can. And then I don't want to go out and buy $50,000, $100,000 worth of lens and all these cameras and overhead. I don't want a mortgage over my head before I even start my little production company. And my goal is to turn it into an agency that handles airbuy. Because that is where the money is. 15% of $200,000 a year contracts. Yeah, it's good place to be. You want a couple of those? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall asleep on camera. Sorry, I got 4 hours sleep. Up late working on my baby's science fair project. She did so good. Her project was on what kind of water do cats prefer? And her kitty cat, Sunny Boy, chose well water. So what were the types? There was well, charcoal filtered, and distilled, and some other one. I forgot what the other one was, but yeah, apparently I like well water. So, interesting experiment. Put 3 bowls out every day, and at the end of the day they would measure, or every morning they would measure how much water was missing out of each bowl. And they took the stats and made graphs and charts. It was cool. So, yeah, it was neat. So, off to shoot another show. It's coming along. The 11th is coming quickly. My last day after working at the television station for 23 years. It's exciting. Trying to do my own thing. And I'm most excited about not having to drive 2.5 hours a day. So the drive may have to change the name. Might have to change it to the hop, skip, and the jump, because I plan on working in Covington, whatever I do. So, whatever the business is, if I got to drive across here to shoot a commercial, I'll do it. But I gotta see. Oh, I'm tired. I'll just keep yawning the entire time. So, not a lot of facts being thrown out here. But back on production. So, starting your own production company. How much gear should you buy? Let's see. I don't know. It's very lost, and it's very easy to get lost, being mired down in gear purchase, because of course everyone has the gear fever. You know, it's like whatever, people buy shoes, clothes, cars, houses, whatever. You just as easily get gear fever. Oh yeah, there's always something bigger, better, and cooler coming out every day. So, yeah, you're just chasing your tail when you try to buy the latest and the greatest. So, I see this all the time. A lot of bloggers and video production people say, you know, it doesn't matter what you have, it's how you use it, you know, and that's true to an extent. You know, I mean, you want fast lens, because if you don't have a fast lens, you're going to need 8,000 watts of light everywhere you go. You know, you're literally going to have to pound light everywhere, which isn't the end of the world. It's much cheaper buying a light than a new camera. So if you have a camera that actually can record indoors at like 200, maybe 300 or 400 ISO, you're probably going to be doing pretty good, as long as it doesn't gain up. When you start hitting over 800 or even 800 or higher, ooh, you're getting gainy. So keep it low, you know, buy light, buy another light. They have these really cool LED panels. I forgot what it was. It was like 2,800 lumens, you know. I'm guessing it's about somewhere between 800 and 1,000 watt light, I guess. Yeah, I think it's pretty darn close to 1,000 watt. It's pretty darn bright. This thing lights up a room, and it's super cool. If you're out in the sun, boom, hit somebody right in the face with it. Slap. If you're indoors, bounce it off the white ceiling right over their head. Put a white card right here, bounce it off the white card. Instant soft fill light. It's very nice. Or it could be a, you know, let's see, cars, get out of our way, you know. So we shot my little girl on the porch, and it had sunlight on one side, and this filled the other side. And it was direct light, boom, right in her, you know, so it's just, she looked great, you know. And, you know, you want to, and it's got a nice swivel on it, it's got a little base with stand, it's got little feet. I wish it had a stand. That would have been cooler than just the little feet, because I find myself teetering on edges of stuff. So I got to come up with some kind of stand for the thing, and trying to make it look semi-legit, but it is just a work light. But I used to fill in dark spaces, like a back room, turn all the lights on, you still got a pit back there, boom, hit it with this thing, lights it up automatically. It just brings up the level of every room, and it's a nice color. It's not the peakish pink or nasty yellow or anything. It's just a nice, cool daylight. I don't know exactly what the temperature is, and these days it's like, please, who even keeps up with temperature of light anymore? I mean, unless you're indoors and all tungsten, but that's almost a joke these days. They mix light everywhere. Hello, traffic. So, yeah, it looks really good. I'm happy. I'm tickled pink with it. It's a neat little light. It's a little square red LED with two little legs, two little feet, and it goes on like counters and floors and things. And I don't know, $30 maybe for the thing at Home Depot, at Walmart. And it's got a swivel, so you can swivel it up and down, which is handy because you just swivel it straight up, boom, hit the ceiling, bounce off something, swivel it backwards, hit a card right to someone's face, fill with a nice soft light, So, yeah, it's a handy light. I didn't even really get into softening the thing yet. It just does so good, It's like I usually just hit the ceiling with it to fill an area, but yeah, I need to invest in a piece of Sentra board. Can't go wrong with a good piece of Sentra. It's a hard, rigid plastic. It won't flap in the wind like cardboard or paper or a sheet. Sheets are okay, but man, they're a pain in the butt. You gotta stretch them out and get them all in position. It's just a pain in the butt. I mean, they are great diffusers, but they're pretty thick too. They knock your stop down by probably 2 stops. I mean, you want diffusion, but you don't want that much diffusion. I mean, a half or a quarter is probably all you need. But yeah, it just depends. Depends how soft you want things, But yeah, so lighting's a big part of it. It's like, don't go out and buy a red cam for $30,000 because it's got a lens with a f1 on it. It's like, that's silly, But I tell you, some lenses do look better than others, and that's just trial and error. You got to do a test one day. Just do a sample. Write the type of lens it was, hold it up on the camera, and shoot the same scene with all your lens, and make a quality list. Go from your best to your worst lens, and maybe you could rate it. Put little numbers on the caps, 1 through 10. If you got 10 lenses, make a quality countdown is what I would do. And because I noticed that I was shooting with my lens, and I got a couple cheap ones and semi-decent ones, and some of the cheap ones look great. Some of the more expensive ones just lose all their contrast. I don't know. Or they become too contrasty. It's kind of a strange thing. You just gotta look at them and really judge them. I don't know if a lot of people do that. It's like, okay, sure. If you go out and buy, what call F-series, or what do they call the red ring lens? I forget what those are called. They're pro level lenses. Of course, those are gonna look good. But if you got $2,000 to spend on a lens, go for it. But if you don't, you got to use what you got. So I recommend rating them. Do a Casey Neistat and get a white paint pen, and put a little rating, maybe on the inside of the lens cap, so people don't see, like, what the heck's 1 mean? That's my best lens. Well, why shoot me with a 10? So you might want to keep that to yourself, but just so you remember, okay, this isn't my greatest looking lens, and if I got a slightly wider lens that looks better, I'm gonna go with that one, But it is what it is. Sometimes you get stuck in a corner, and you need that lens to get it, So it is what it is. But you could push so much in the edit that it's like you can make anything match. This whole, oh, it doesn't match. It's like, you can make it match. Much like Photoshop, when you're dropping in an image in a layer, and you need to, the number one thing to make a random piece match the background is contrast brightness. You got to get the contrast brightness right, the same, so do a side by side with your little film clips and slide the contrast brightness around so you get the looking the same, and then boom, then you're just down to color, so you get them leveled out and they're even. Then you go over the whole thing with your lumetri effect or whatever film look you're going with, but you got to start with a consistent base, then you add your lumetri effects. I would not try adding stuff to two clips that already don't look the same. You're never going to get it the same, you know. So that's my little humble suggestion. You know, start with a base matching look just by contrast, brightness, and color. I mean, you can tinker around with exposure too, but just try to make it look the same, because what you're going to end up with is something's going to be more contrasty than the other. You know, something's going to be washed out in gray, and some's going to be real contrasty. I noticed that when you use different lens, it really made a difference. So, yeah, and then when you have it all leveled out, then start slapping your LUTs on top of that. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go shoot. I'm gonna try to shoot in the next couple weeks a sample commercial that I can tinker with and build. I want to see how long it takes me to do it, because these aren't going to be very expensive commercials when I first start out. I got to get my calling card out there, and I want to do one or two for under $900-800 to get these things going, just so everyone knows my name. And it's like $500 spots. That's what I'm going to call my company. Now, I had a friend, actually my first job in production, he did that. And man, this guy just hustled. He wouldn't, the only thing he turned down was his collar. He would do anything for any price. And I don't know, at the end of the day, ooh, that was close. At the end of the day, I don't know how choosy you can be. Okay, when you're in a small market and you're doing something very specific like video production, not a lot of people doing it, you know. It's like, how picky can you be? You know, it's like, but I mean, just, I don't know, just going to go shoot like an hour or 2 hour long play, and then having to edit that for like, I don't even know, for like $200. I don't know. I gotta ask him. They moved. I gotta ask him like what exactly he did. You know, anytime I talked to him and heard his pricing, I was just like, my jaw would drop. I'm like, how are you even still in business, dude? You're doing a 2 hour video for free, or a 2 hour video for like $200? I'm like, God, dude. I mean, these aren't stellar edits and fancy special effects or anything, but still, that's time. Hour to get there and set up, 2 hours to shoot the performance, half hour to strike, and then editing that bear. Huh? I don't care how fast you are. If you got it there in a 5 hour period, you know, it'd be a miracle. So you're talking like 10 or 15 hours for $200? It's like, yeah. I don't know. So I'm gonna give it a shot. If not, you'll see me in aisle 4 stocking nails at Home Depot. So I'll see what happens. Yeah, I could do the Rogue 30-second